Welcome to another magical Black Girl book review. Hi there, my name is Michelle and welcome to my channel. If you dig my content, please like, comment below, and subscribe. So today I'm reviewing Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I've been wanting to read this for a while, and since there's two books in the series and the third dropping next year, I thought it was an opportune time to check it out. Now, I appreciate the direction Dion took with this book. It starts off with our main character, Bree, dealing with the loss of her mother, and this idea of grief and loss is central to the story. All of the characters are dealing with some sort of trauma, and it grounds the story in very real circumstances that just about anyone has experience with. Now, we've all heard about the legend of King Arthur growing up, and like most media's representation of it, there's not a lot of diversity going on in that particular myth. Now, we're reminded of the world Bree has to navigate as a black woman in her interactions with the police, school administration, and other students. It's got that low-key, racially charged atmosphere going on, and it's important to note because in those instances, I also felt seen and heard as a black woman in the world myself and understand those events because I've had some sort of experience not quite unlike Bree's, but everyone has their own stories to tell, you know? So, the mystery of Bree's mom's death leads her to uncover a secret society at UNC, filled with tradition and legacy that she's constantly reminded doesn't include her. We've all had that idea of a sense of not belonging in the space, and she befriends a number of fellow students, two of which are Nick and Selwyn, the other main characters of this tale, and I get a little apprehensive when I see the whole one girl, two guys dynamic, because half the time I'm thinking, please don't make this into another love triangle story. I I love all things love, but because just having that kind of love triangle might water down the plot so much, and it's just such a rich and interesting plot. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. It was close though, and I haven't read the second book to see what comes of it. So, while there were plenty of action sequences, what I enjoyed the most is the connection between Bree learning about her powers and ancestors. How much of the magic that was the main source of power in the story had different terms and affiliations depending on which group was using it. It talks about the African lore of borrowing, what they called rootcraft from the ancestors, and the way it manifests itself for that group being different, a different iteration from how the white characters access and use it. We also have Bree come to terms with her mother's death and ancestry. I like when characters get closure. Now, by the time the book ends, there's a twist, and other characters who we know need to figure out some stuff, especially Selwyn. That boy has been going through the most in this story, you know? But I also enjoyed how his character transforms into a less antagonistic version, and the reason for his broodiness, you know? He's also got mommy issues. That's not a spoiler, but that happens with a lot of people in this story. Overall, the ending was satisfying, and it sets up the plot of the next book while at least resolving most of Bree's original goals. I'm so grateful for the non-cliffhanger and excited to see what comes of the next two stories. So, thank you so much for listening to another Magical Black Girl book review. Read Legendborn. Look at this cover. I looked at this cover and I was like, oh yeah, I like the hair. I like the hands. I like the power. This is what Black Girl Magic looks like in my head, and I'm glad to see that the cover represents that as well. So, as always, if you like this review, please give it a thumbs up, like that button, hit subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Take care.